This tutorial is for this pretty gift box. It opens up with a matching pattern inside. The kit also includes a book that goes inside, so I will make it in a separate video, so this one is not too long. You might already know how to bind the pages together and stick them back to each other for the book, so I thought I'll make the main one just for the box. You would like to prepare two ribbons, long ribbons in advance, because each one goes inside while we are sticking the layers. Now I can see I made them too short, so I'll quickly cut two long pieces. So you can use the mesh, you can use chiffon, lace. Let me just double check the length of each one. So yeah, it needs to be, I better trim the edges later and have two long ones first ready, because you don't want to start sticking the layers and then start cutting the ribbons, so you would like to do this in advance. Okay, so I'm going to start with the actual cover itself, and slowly we'll do this frame that goes inside. The two butterflies are gonna go here on top. So this is one, that's the other one. There we go. And when I'm trimming the pages, when I start cutting all the pieces, usually I keep the notes next to each piece, so I'm not going to get confused as I go along. Even though I know my own files, the patterns are quite matching and looking very similar, so this is just to avoid confusion. So these bits are going to create the frame, and this will go inside as a base, and this bit is going in here to cover the blank area. So I'm going to start with the cover. We are folding it into two, then we're gonna stick it back to back and crease those two lines here as gonna be the middle section. So it's enough to apply glue to these three edges. Oops, too much. I'm just going to put a tiny bit here as well. That's not tiny, but I'm just going to go over it second time. And now I'm going to use the bone here to get the bubbles out. So that bit is done. Now I'm going to crease these two lines. There is a grey dotted line here. It's quite pale, so it's not going to show later. And what I'm going to do at this point, because then it will be quite tricky to do afterwards, is just to edge the frame around, so you're not going to see all these blank area. I'm going to do this with an ink pad. I'm going to tap it over the edges all around. And we're gonna hide these lines as well. Now you're not going to see the dotted line anymore. This bit is done. Now I'm going to make the frame. The frame, I just need to make sure I'm doing it the right direction, because the bow is going down this way and the frame is going to go in here. Actually, at this point we can already, there's a tiny bit missing here. So this bit goes in here. So there's no need for a lot of glue. We can quickly, actually I should have done this before, put a tiny bit of ink here as well. And I'm gonna stick it centered to this panel. Okay, so this bit is done now. No, I actually forgot to do something. One pieces of the ribbon or the lace or whatever you're using should go inside here, so I'm quickly going to peel mine. I'm gonna add a bit of glue here because it's a quite light piece of fabric. It's gonna stick if you're using heavier ribbon like silk. Perhaps you wish to put an extra glue. So this bit is done. And just before I forget, I'm going to add the other part in here, because then it's going to fold in the middle. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue here. And now it has time to dry as well. Doesn't look too pretty now, but once it's all covered, no one is going to see it. Okay. It's a bit too much glue, but it's okay, it's not going to show. So I'm going to leave this piece here for now, and I'm going to create the frame. This piece is going to go inside as a base. Now I know it, so I can trim the instructions from here. And now I'm quickly going to fold the flaps of the frame. It actually took me some time to engineer this box to get the frame right, with minimum of creasings and folding, to make it as simple as possible. So there were like loads of trials, but now I know what I'm doing. It just looks complicated at first, but it's not really. So I'm going to fold the flaps first. I've got them all ready, so I don't need to mess with this much once I'm starting to glue them one to each other. And I'm going to align them next to each other, long first, then shorter one, then long, then short. So okay, now this bit we fold to meet this the flap here, the crease here. So that's first fold, and then each flap is going to go inside the other, and we're going to stick them together. So this bit is facing you, the long one facing the other way, and then that's another crease here. And I'm going to do the same for the other two, and within 3 minutes we're going to have the frame ready and stick it to the base of the box. So now this bit is facing you. Have I done it wrong? We'll see in a minute. No, it should be fine. Okay. So the part which is open is facing the other way. And basically how it's going to be, I'm going to stick each one while the mini flap is going inside. And while I'm sticking this, I'm going to leave the one gap open here, so then I can stick the end to the other side. But it will be easy because we can fold them over. So let's start with these two first. So I'm going to apply glue in here and stick this bit here, leaving this bit open at first. So this flap stays open. I'm going to apply a bit of glue here and a bit of glue here. And this bit goes in here. I'm going to align it together so there is a straight line here. No one is going to see this ugly crease later, it's okay. So I left a bit of open gap here. I'll stick it later. So that's one bit. Now I'm going to do the same to this one. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to apply glue here, just inside this rectangle shape, and a bit of glue here. I should change this white paper, but I'll try to keep going with this one. So this bit goes here. Again, I'm aligning it together, and then I'm sticking it all the way down. And now to the last part. I'm going to add glue here, going over the mini flap here. I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue here and here so it sticks to the other one. And this bit goes inside. And now we're going to connect the two edges. Okay. So this bit goes here. This bit goes here. And now I'm going to add a bit of glue. Actually more than a bit, because that's the bit that it's gonna seal the frame. And this bit goes in, now it can fold easily. This bit goes inside here. I'm gonna align it together and put a bit of pressure, and then we have the frame. Now I'm gonna fold the flaps in. And I'm gonna stick the base, the card base inside, and then we're gonna stick it to the box, and then the box is done. It might be a tiny bit longer to go inside, and if that will be the case, I'm just gonna trim it a bit, but I'll give it a go as it is first. This bit I don't need now, and this now I need some. Okay, so you would like to get this bit straight, the frame, and actually it match perfectly inside. So I'm just gonna tuck it inside with my nails. And maybe one thing I should have done before and I forgot is just to edge the corners a bit. Oh, there's not enough glue here, but it's not gonna show once stuck. I'm gonna edge it a bit so it looks more vintagey. And then and reel. Okay. So now I'm going to apply glue to the base, and I'm going to stick this bit here, and then we're done. I'm going to apply a bit more glue here, so once we stick it to the box, I'm going to give it a bit of pressure so it will stick as well. So I'm going to center it, but actually to lean a bit more towards the middle section here. So I'm aligning it with the crease here, and then the rest of the center from the other three sides. And I'm just pressing it down a bit, and the box is now ready. So now you can easily fold it over and tie the ribbon, and this is now when I'm gonna trim the axis. I like to use this kind of fabric because it's very elastic. It's a mesh from a skirt that I've trimmed down because it doesn't fit me anymore, sadly. And I stained it with a bit of I think tea. No, actually, I'm lying. I boiled it together with onion peels. I know it sounds crazy, but when you're cutting your onion, you would like to keep all the peels for about like 6-7 onions, and then you boil it together, and you can put any type of fabric inside. You can add avocado peels, also a bit of beetroot to create it, to get it a purpley shade, and then you just leave it to boil for quite some time, and it's a nice way to use your waste as well, rather than to buy fabric dyes for your fabrics. So that's just an extra tip of something I found online, and I enjoy doing it now. I'll create now an extra video just how I make the books and the extra bits and pieces that goes inside the box. Thank you.